This green screening on is horrible. Oh, I gotta log in enter code. All right, sending me a code. Okay, so we should be live. Checking the sound real quick. Yep, it's good. It's looking good. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This Thanksgiving holiday, Black Friday deals and stuff are going on. So, for all those who want to join us live, let me go ahead and put this into the chat box here. Okay, to join in live, you're going to go to this link. You want to share something, do a little short little tutorial or share your work, come on and jump onto the direct StreamYard link. Other than that, enjoy the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, people are jumping in now. Good morning. Share with us where you're from again, and what the weather like is in your area. Right now, the weather's kind of hot here in San Diego. I'm in sunny San Diego, where the weather sucks everywhere else. Just saying. I used to live in Chicago, so I know. Good morning. Cool. People are jumping in. We can get started here in a few minutes. Do just a few more checks. Let people jump into the stream. It's the Thanksgiving holiday, so I wasn't expecting a huge crowd today. So probably people are out of town on vacation and stuff like that. Cool. Okay, people are coming in now. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Oftentimes we'll get Carm coming in. Carm comes in kind of late often, so he usually misses some of the broadcasts. Just saying. I'll share my screen. I'm going to share my entire screen. And I will share the Blender. So Blender 5 is out. They're getting ready to post some updates to Blender 5. And then I'll show you real quick. Let's kind of bring these over here. So let's go to blender.org. My machine's running a lot quicker today because I had to reload the operating system yesterday. What's nice is that the newer Windows operating systems, they make it so easy just to reset your operating system so that it works as if it's a clean, fresh install without deleting all your files. That's kind of nice. So 5.0 is here, as we all know. Okay. Some news on the development. They're really going after the geometry nodes with aggression. Ooh, volume grid nodes. That's going to be interesting. We got the Blender Studio. So Storm has been released. The character Storm has been released and available for download. Okay. I don't know much about that, but if someone does, maybe you can come on and talk about it. But anyways, they're getting ready to release another update. So if we go to the downloads here and go all the way down to the bottom, which is Blender Experimental. And already there is the 5.01. It's already a candidate, a release candidate. So basically it's set in stone. So we should be getting the 5.01 coming out pretty soon. 5.1 is an alpha now. So they're making some incredible improvements. I'm assuming the 5.01 is going to be a lot of bug fixes and optimizations. But yeah. All right. Yep. People are jumping in here. All right. So DJ, let's say DJ Sharpcut, welcome. There's a bunch more, but they're not showing up in the chat box section here where I can see who's here. So share with us where you're from and what the weather like is in your area. And if you want to share your demo reel or something, you can post it here and on Twitch, and I'll post it up share with everybody else as well. Cool. All right, so a lot of interesting updates. So now, in case people weren't aware, we have an official Discord. All right, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to bring up Discord over here. We've got an official Blender Discord, and it's populated with all types of people and what people are doing in Blender. Let me see. I'm going to find a link that's more of a permanent link. You can see some of the classes that I have here. So I'm going to go over here to let's go right over here. Right click. I want to go to invite to server. Copy the link, and if you're not a member of the Discord, you are welcome to join us. I'm going to put that link right down here. All right. In fact, I want to call it Blender Discord, not just Discord. Blender 3D Discord. Let's go ahead and put that in. There you go. All right. So grab that. If you're not already on our Discord, you're welcome to join in now. What you see on screen right now is something from my Blender AI class. You see what some of the students are posting using AI to generate a lot of their content as well as their concepts. So really fun stuff. All right, so if you want to jump on live, there's the link for that. And for those of you who just came on Twitch, and I see a bunch of you coming on right now, I will repost it. So I know sometimes Twitch doesn't show you the later posts before you actually logged in. All right, so I just reposted the join in live on StreamYard. Right there, Carm. All right, hello. Ace Hoffman, Carlsbad. Welcome, Ace. Cool. Yep, Carlsbad is right next door to me, which the weather is just as nice. It's where I live. So, Carm, I just posted the link to join on live if you wanted to share anything. Our usual suspects are still quite not here. They probably were up partying last night or something. So I'll give you guys, a couple of things I didn't. Well, last week we talked about what's new in Blender and in Blender 5. And there was a couple of things that I missed. I'm gonna go look at my little notepad here, so I jotted it all down. Yeah, there was one thing we didn't do. We did the instances on surface, right? But we didn't do an instance on elements, and we didn't do the lattice deform, the new lattice deform, which is actually very, very, very cool. And in fact, it's the way lattice deform should have started from the beginning, but um, better late than never, I guess. So what I'll do is I'm gonna bring in a little box. I'll kind of show you real quick what I'm talking about. It's a new feature in Blender. Lattice is not a new feature. Lattice is been around, but the new way that it works is now a new feature. All right, so I want to bring this little cube over to here. Get this out of the way and zoom in just to the cube. I'm gonna go edit this real quick, just kind of split this up. So right click on it. I'm gonna just subdivide the whole thing. And I'll subdivide it into 5, I suppose. Yeah, that'll work. All right, let's get back out of here and go to objects. So the new lattice. Well, I forgot the little box is still up there in front of you guys. Sorry about that. Got to pull out my mic. All right, very good. So you've got the link, Karm. So jump in when you can if you want. I figured this is going to be kind of a lazy weekend for people to join because it's still Thanksgiving holiday. and a lot of people probably left town. All right, so somebody's jumping in. Karm is here.
Hey,
Good
amigo.
morning, Karm. How you doing?
I'm okay. Can you
Cool,
hear me?
great. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly well. You're coming through loud and clean. So, what did you do for Thanksgiving?
I did a lot of programming.
Okay, but you did have dinner with the family and friends, right?
No, actually, we're having that today. Some of the some of our relatives are coming over any minute now. Actually, so I don't know how long I can be here.
Oh, all right. Okay, so I guess a lot of people couldn't make it until a couple of days after the holiday.
Yeah, well, my mom is out of the country, so things get shifted around.
Oh, wow. Where does your mom live?
Well, she lives here, but she's visiting Turkey.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's great. Get the whole. So, how many people you're gonna have?
I think just two. Uh,
Okay.
my sister's uh, husband, well, ex-husband, I guess, and their daughter are going to come and cook turkey and stuff.
Well, it's gonna be more than two people,
Well,
and your
two
dad.
visitors, and then me and my stepdad are here, and so
That
four
okay.
total. I think there might
All
be
right.
more.
All right. Hell, invite the neighbors. Turn it to a real big party. Um. All right. So then, now let me ask you this. While I've got you, um, what would you like to share today?
I don't have much to show. I did some fun programming thing I could show you. I mean, it's not really LightWave or anything.
Okay, that'll
I
be
could show.
great.
Well, I can show you one other thing I'm working on. It is
Okay.
LightWave.
All right. So I tell you what, and I know you mentioned that you were probably getting prepared for your Thanksgiving holiday. So why don't I let you go first?
Okay.
So everybody, you can share with everybody, and then if you have to go, then you're free to go.
All right. Let's
I'll,
see
I'll hold
here.
my presentation for a little bit. I'll let you go first, and I'll stop.
Shares.
Yeah, go to your share button in the bottom, the little monitor with the plus in the middle. They changed the visual icons on StreamYard lately.
There, you got that?
I see it. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Okay, well,
And
basically what I'm doing here is, uh, let me make this a little easier to see.
now share with everybody as if they don't know what you're doing. So
Yeah,
you
no
know,
problem. I'm just color coding these so they can be seen easier. All right, wait a minute. They're here right now. Let me open the door and I'll open the door for them and I'll be right back.
all right, sounds good. So Karim will be right back. Um, let's see. Let me. It shouldn't be no more than a minute or two. So I'm going to bring up something here while he is away. I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you later on after break. And let me bring up this model. Let's see. Let's go to open.
False alarm.
Oh, you're back. Oh, it's
That was
false alarm. Oh, all right. Then
that was Amazon.
I'll stop sharing my. I hate that when that happens.
All right. So where was I? Okay. So what I'm doing right now is in my game. I got. Let me back over here. This is the standard bomb, and this is the freeze bomb, which is contains liquid nitrogen. And you might have seen both of those already. And right now I'm making the chemical bomb, which is a corrosive chemical, and that's the final bomb of the game. And what I'm going to do is, uh, there we go. I'm making, I'm using LightWave's advanced camera uh, feature. Let me pull up this in modeler so you can see what I'm doing there. Dude. Here it is. Okay, so it's a sphere, obviously, very simple. But what I did was I went into edge mode and I picked edges like that, and then vertical. Not, I did a cleaner, of course, with all these tributaries sticking out. And once I had it laid out, I went into UV and I used ABF UV unwrap, and that made this. So basically, just it unwrapped the topology into a UV map, and then I moved things around and resized it so that everything fits nicely, as big as possible inside the UV map. And so in LightWave, and I got the object loaded up here, and I got camera, and I'm using surface baking camera. And so you can choose the object, and then you can choose the UV map. Give it a UV border of 2 pixels so that if the details touch the edge of the geometry, it will bleed over 2 pixels into the dead zone of the UV, so that you don't see any seams when it all merges together. And you turn bake surroundings on, so instead of baking what it's on the object, it's baking what the object sees. So it's on this. The camera is the surface of the object looking outward. And so basically, what I did is I made 2 particle systems. Where is that? There it is. I thought I would be seeing more of it. Maybe if I go into perspective view. Huh. I told it to make it green. Dark blue? No, it's not showing. Anyway, there's an L up there. I mean, you can see the rotation handles. I just don't see the actual box. Maybe it's really small. No, I don't know where it is. Anyway, it's dropping particles on the top of the sphere, and then the sphere itself is a collision object. And right here, instead of bounce, it's using stick mode, and that makes the particles glide down the surface of the ball like that. And then at the bottom of this, whoa, something's happened. I'm like permanently in rotation mode, orbit mode of. Let me stop this. Let go. Um, I can't get out of this mode. I'm like permanently rotating the camera. Um, hmm. Maybe I need to kill LightWave. That was weird. So let me pull this back up again. Okay, we're back. Now you can see my particle emitter. Turn this one on too. All right. So the particles are gliding down the surface. I turn the gravity way low so it goes nice and slow. And then I have another collider right here. And this is using erase mode. So basically, if a particle touches it, it kills the particle. Otherwise, the particle will reach the bottom and then kind of glide up a little bit and then fall back down. So I just want them to die as soon as they hit the bottom. So the intention is to create a streak texture because it's a chemical bomb. It's filled with chemicals, and it's like the chemicals are dripping down the sides of the bomb. And what's going to happen is, let's see, emitter. Okay, we can't see it right now. Let's turn off the environment light. And I guess because I had to reset LightWave, I lost all my settings. So we say bomb, UV map. Here, now we can see we're looking at the surface of the bomb inside the UV map layout. You can see it's illuminated on this side and dark over here. But when I say bake surroundings, now the camera is the surface of the model looking outward. Let's turn on the 2-pixel overlap there. All right. Now we just need to see the particles. So if I change this to volumetric, yeah, now we can kind of see them. Let's crank this up. So now we are watching the particles as they glide over the surface. Let me step through this maybe. Yeah, you can see them moving this way as I step through the animation. So what I'll do is I will render this to a sequence. And why don't I just do that and just render like 20 frames and show you what I'm going to do. For some reason, I rendered this already, but it all came out black. I don't know why. Oh, maybe that's why. I turned on the unmultiplied alpha, and I think it blacked it all out. Okay, so in here, and I'll set it to 40. It renders pretty quick. Oops, 40. Render scene. Let me stop. Let me turn anti-aliasing off. It'll speed it up a little bit. And maybe we can do like 100 frames. Because these are moving pretty slow. Yeah, we're halfway through and they're barely moved. Yeah, they're spreading out a little bit. It'd be enough to see what's going on. Okay, good. Now let's just use our imagination that I've rendered out the entire 850 frames. Now I'm going to go into another program. It's my compositor. Nobody has this compositor, but it's very similar to Fusion, if you're familiar with Fusion. All right. Now when I play through, you can kind of see them drifting apart because this is the top pole of the sphere, and they're just kind of drifting out in all directions away from the sphere. So I'm going to use a interesting effect called, what is it called? I don't remember what it's called, but it's in here somewhere. I've used it before. I wasn't anticipating showing this. I think it might be trails. Let's find out. And put it on screen mode. Now let's play this from the beginning. See what happens. Yep, that's it. It's trails.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can see it is drawing a line. Basically, the particles remain because I am doing this in screen mode. So basically, white adds to white. And what I can do is also what I was planning on doing is say composite, merge, creator background. I'm just making a black image to put on top of it. So I guess I did have some substantial stuff to show today. And so now, let me see here.
It's amazing what you discover when you start doing your tutorials.
Well, I've done this before, and I've even made a tutorial about this before. I think I might be doing this backwards. Let me think.
Then if you don't do it on a regular basis, it's easy to forget.
I've never done it this particular way before. Let's see if I go like this and merge. Oh, I got the merge already. And turn the blend down. I think what'll happen is I'm applying a little bit of black on top of it, so it'll make them fade out as they age. Let's see if that works. Whoops. Play. Now, It's the old images like staying on there. How do I clear that out? Restart. Oh, perfect. No, that's not doing it because it's just applying black on top of all the streaked effect. Got to think. I mean, there's got to be a way to do this because I want the trails to look like they've aged, dried out as the liquid pours down. So I'm gonna have to improvise and see what happens. Or maybe there's a setting in here to do it. Maybe not. All right, let's see what this does. Oh, wait. I'm looking on the wrong one. Gotta look on this one. Reset. Restart. No, they didn't do it. Maybe it's not possible. I don't know.
So what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make it so that the newer application of the particles, this image here, is brighter than stuff that's been applied way in the past. So it gets like dimmer the older they get.
Okay.
It might be like one of these settings or... Oh, wait, what if I try this? Let's turn this off. If I just... What was I changing here? I don't know if I changed the wrong one. That's what was going on.
Oh.
Let me try this. Restart. Darn it. So it's not gain. Oh, is it? Oh, there's two gains. Let's try this one. Restart. Oh, wait. I turned pass-through on. Why would I do that? That seems to, like, do nothing. There it is. Yeah, now it's working. Wait a second. Wait a second. Let's try that again. Yeah. So if I set this to like almost 1, yeah, I think that's the solution right there. Obviously, this is only 100 frames and it's going to be 850 when it's all done. But that's what that is. And then I guess you'll just have to use your imagination unless you want to sit and watch me render the whole sequence. But I think you get the concept. Trails. Trails is the key to... Basically, what you can do is you can use this to make wet maps. Like if you're doing a liquid simulation in Storm or LightWave as liquid too, and Blender too, you can have your droplets gliding over the surface of an object, bake that out as a separate, black on white render, and then use trails so that as they streak, there's permanence there. You just want to make sure that you may need to render it in slow motion because if they go too fast, then you'll get like a dotted effect. That's why I turn gravity way down so they go slowly. And so that's that. I guess I can show you the the latest I did in the game programming, and then I'll be done. Remember, gain right there. That's the secret. All right. Okay. So the latest in here is I got the ropes doing. I'm not sure what the last thing you saw was. You can see that, right? Can you see the game? Hello. I think Stephen may have walked away from his desk.
Sorry, I walked out of the office a second.
Okay, you're seeing the game on the screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, they're here. Real quick, I'll just say, look at this. I can drag, and the rope pulls the bomb against the collider like that. That's the latest thing I did. And I can drop it and let it go.
Nice.
And I'll do the same thing for the bigger one.
Nice.
All right, I gotta go open the door. They're here.
They're there? Okay, you're done.
I'll be right back in a bit.
Well, what does that mean? Because once I start, I'm not letting you back on until I'm done.
I gotta open the door for them, but I'll be back in a minute or so.
Oh, okay. You mean actually a real 1 minute? Okay, be quick.
Yeah, that's all I have to show you really. So you can move on if you want.
I'm going to move on. All right. If you come back, you come back. But I'm going to move on. All right. Thank you, Carm. That was great. Looking forward to seeing the finish the game as well. All right. Let's go back to what I was going to show you. And let me go remove him off here and add me to the stage. I'll show you this after break, okay? So I actually finally started printing this out. It's big. I will share all that with you after break. This is going to be 4 feet long and 2 feet wide. So it's designed to actually fit the current 1/350th build Starship Enterprise of any style. So we'll come back to this one. And let's go back to what I was going to share with you guys before. All right, let's see. Where am I? Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Um, a couple of the new features that I didn't cover last week. And the first one is array. Now, just so that you are aware, I'm going to go over here to edit mode. I subdivided this cube. So we have a little bit of extra geometry so we can actually, warp it and morph it a little bit. Now, if we go back over to object view, I'm going to go to Shift A. So we're going to bring in what's called our lattice, right? It's a separate object in Blender. And if I select lattice deform selected, this is the new lattice, I believe, in Blender. I select it, and what you're going to see is the lattice is actually matching the exact dimensions of my cube. So if we come over here to our outliner, there's the lattice, right? And up here is the cube. All right, so there's my lattice, is outlining the cube. Once you have your lattice, we can add more subdivisions to it. So in order to do that, let me grab my mouse here. I'm going to scroll down to this lattice data right there. So if I select the lattice data, I can start to affect the resolution of my lattice. So the purpose of a lattice, you can see I put 2 pieces up. I divided that into 2 and the 3, right? If I go down to the V, 2 and the 3 there, right? And then I'll do the same thing for W, the width there. Okay, So we just split the lattice up a little bit. So the purpose is to be able to control each of these sections of the lattice to control the object. Now, once again, I'm in my lattice. Now I'm going to go to edit mode for the lattice. Tab key, edit mode, and I've got points. So what does that mean to use an artist? I can select these points right up here. And I can go to G key and stretch it out. Look at my cube is actually being stretched with those points. S key for scale, scale it down like this, right? The lattice is what's deforming my object. All right, so if I grab one of these little points out, hit the G key on the keyboard to move it, it's deforming my cube. It's deforming my cube. So I like the lattice properties because when I'm building, spaceships or want to do something unusual or organic looking, the lattice is going to help me achieve some of that. Now, before in Blender, in order for lattice to work, you had to go through like 3 to 4 steps to get it to attach to the object. Now in Blender, you just apply the lattice and it works, period. And I think that's great. That's the way it should have worked from the very beginning. And it always annoyed me to no ends. In fact, I thought LightWave's lattice worked a little bit better than Blender initially. Now Blender is doing exactly what it should do, and that is deform. Just put it on, and it automatically attaches itself to the object. I'll do another example real quick. Let's go to object mode. Let's select everything, lattice and object and cube. Hit delete key, get it out of there. Let's bring in another object. I'll bring this over to here to the left-hand side. Okay, shift right click, put my little 3D cursor right here. And we'll bring in another object. Let's say something like, let's bring in a cylinder. All right, and let's enlarge the cylinder a little bit. So S key for scale and Z key for the axis. I'm just going to scale it up a little bit and then kind of bring it up to the base here. Just push it up so it's sitting on the floor, so to speak. All right, Control A, apply rotation to scale, and I'm gonna go in here and edit and give it some more geometry. It's got plenty going vertically, so I'm just going to hit the Control. I'm just going to hit the Control R and just slice it up like that. Okay, that works. They got some geometry there. Let's go back over to object mode. Let's get out of X-ray mode. With that selected, Shift A, go to my lattice, and then I'm going to lattice deform to the selected. There it is. It matches the dimensions of the selected object. All right, so now we go to our lattice properties, or lattice data, and I'll go to the vertical. Let's see, W is what I want. I'm going to just slice it up like this. And that's all I really want to do for now. And you can do whatever you want. So for example, how about if let's make sure the lattice is selected. Come over to here, make sure lattice is selected. Tab key, go to edit mode. I'm gonna go to X-ray mode so I can see through it all and just select those 4 points there. Get out of X-ray mode, S key for scale, and there we go, all right? Let's do this, let's try this. Let's hit this one and every other one. It's not what I wanted to do. I want every other one that way, and then this one up here this way. All right, scale, and then I'm gonna try something else. Let's try Alt S. See what that will do. Now that's not gonna work. So it's just you need to scale. All right. So I don't want to. I don't want to scale on the Z-axis, right? I want it to scale only on the X and Y axis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to lock the Z axis down. Shift Z, it locks the Z axis down, and now it'll only scale on the X and Y. That's a nice little trick. So Carm says, okay, he's back. So Carm, you're still on. You're
Hi.
still on. Yeah, you're still live. It's just that you're not sharing, and you're not going to share until I'm done.
Well, I'm done anyway. That was all I had to show, really.
Okay, good. But you can hang out and be our background commentator,
The peanut gallery.
the peanut gallery, right? So this is nice. I like this. I think this is a beautiful upgrade in Blender for the lattice.
You're not funny.
What was that?
You're not funny.
Exactly. Why do people heckle comedians anyway? I think that's ridiculous. Because comedians are dangerous. So, all right. So there we go. That's the new lattice. Okay. Something else I didn't share, and I'm going to use this other object for it. Let me go ahead and go back to object mode. We'll go over to this one here. Now remember this one? I did this tutorial a few weeks ago, maybe before I left to Death Valley. And let's see, how did I do this? I'm going to select this one here. Come on, there we go. Thank you. All right, now if I'm going to play it. All right, so we remember this tutorial that we did together. I'm going to use this one for the other new feature in Blender 5 that I didn't cover last time. And what I did not cover last time was the instance on objects. We did the instance on surfaces or scatter, I think it was, but we didn't do an instance on objects. So I'm going to hit the space bar to stop it. Okay. And I'm going to bring in a different object. So let me hit the Shift S. Shift S. I'm going to select my object here. Shift S. Cursor to select it so I know where the object's going to go. Shift A. Let's go get a cube. Let's bring the cube over here. Instance on objects on mesh. So we got a cube. All right, let's modify this cube. Let's go edit right in here. Let's come over here and hit the S key for scale, Z key for the axis to restrict the scaling on. We want to make it like a nice flat, thin thing, just like this. Okay. Let's go and grab the top face here, 3 key on the keyboard for face editing mode, and then Control B for bevel. Like that. We'll do something like this. Okay. Okay, that'll work just for now. All right. Here's where the fun begins. Let's go back to object mode. Let's go select our torus. Now, if you guys want to know how I actually created this torus, I did this from scratch. Okay. And that tutorial is here. Let me go get it for you. I'll show you guys and give you the link. We have an official Blender page, a Blender YouTube page, where every tutorial that you see here in the mornings go there to YouTube. Okay. Let me go to YouTube. Come on, youtube.com. Give it a moment. Okay, I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna look for the Blender switch account, Blender 3D users. And there she is. So if we go over to, let's see. I'm going to go over to my videos. And there they are. Okay, so here they all are. If I go up here to the main, go to my channel, I think is what I want to do. This is what you guys are going to see. Okay, so here they are. These are all the Saturday morning videos here. I am going to copy it and I'm going to put it into the chat box. I'll type in YouTube channel. In fact, I'll put in here Blender YouTube channel. And then paste it there. Okay, that should do it. All right, so there, that's it. That's the link to our official YouTube channel. So every Saturday morning broadcast gets placed here. Okay. All right. All right, so let's get rid of this for now. And let's go back to what we're doing. In fact, this tutorial here, let me actually go back and show you that again. This tutorial, let's see, where was that? That would have been, I think, it wasn't the tank. Or, okay, that's something different. All right, so I think it's this one here, the Blender 3, this one here. I need to come in here and update the visuals and the titles. I do know I need to do that. I've been so busy and being a one-man band around here. I just have not come in here to change the titles and the visuals so it's easier for you guys to assess what you want to see. It's one of these four right in here. It's one of the top four. That's where it is. All right, let's go to work. This is going to be fun. All right, so we got the tourist selected. We go to our modifier. So this is what's beautiful about the new updates in Blender are these new modifiers, right? Now I've got a subdivision which I have turned off right now. So if I play it now, you got with the subdivision surfaces. Right? If I turn off the subdivision surfaces, you're seeing the hard edge effects of this torus. Now, with the torus selected, I'm going to add another modifier. So I'm going to go to a little blue wrench here, hit the add modifier button. And I think it's under instances, instance on elements, right? So right down here is under instance on elements and select it. I'm going to come right down here to the instance on elements modifier. Okay, now I want to tell it what object that I want to be instanced on this donut thing, right? Basically a Mobius cube, a Mobius strip donut. I'm just called a Mobius donut, which is nothing more than a straight churro, right? So, anyways, if I select the object, I can select it in the menu here, or I can click on the eyedropper and tap on the object and look at what we've got. It's kind of cool. I've got objects and they're kind of big, right? If I go on the object and go in the edit mode, hit the A key and hit the S key for scale, I can scale them down or scale them up like that, right? I'm going to take it down to something like this. Get out of edit mode, go to object mode. And if I play this, that's kind of interesting, all right? That's kind of interesting. So, and if you like interesting visuals like this, then you should be able to get your imagination going and do even more with this. Okay, so let's see what more we can do.
Why don't you rotate the little plate as it's being instanced? That should look
Just,
pretty funky.
just, just hold on. Let me just finish what I'm doing first before you throw a wrench in the whole thing. So, so if you look at this modifier options, by default, it's giving you instance on points, right? We've got all types of instance. We got instance on edges. So let's go back. Let's go to edges. That's points. That's edges. We've got corners, all right? And we've got what we really want are the faces. There. Now it flows with the shape of my original object because I'm on the faces. Okay. So let's play with this a little more. So let's just stop it so we can kind of see what's going on here. The plates are a little too big. They're overlapping with one another. And you may want that, and you may not want that. If you want like overlapping scales on the dragon's body, then this is probably what you want, right? You want it to overlap a little bit. Just kind of rotate it up a little bit and let them overlap, and then you're good to go. But let's go to our object here. In fact, let's bring our object just so it's easy to see. I'm going to bring it in the middle. It doesn't matter where you put the object in this case. That's what's nice about the geometry nodes. Oftentimes, the object should share the same location or the orientation as the object you're instancing on, but it doesn't have to be that here. So if I take this, go to edit mode, S key, and I can scale it so they fit within the faces of my geometry like this. Okay. So remember, we're instancing on the faces, and now that's all looking pretty good. So if I play it, all right, you get to see
Can you
all
render it
the.
without the black outlines?
Oh no, this we're in edit mode right now. That's why you see black outlines. If I get out of edit mode, go to object mode, you don't see black outlines.
Got it.
All right, isn't that cool? We can put the camera at this angle here, right? So if I hit Control Alt 0, that's my camera, and I'm gonna position my camera so I have this dynamic, right? This is gonna be cool. I like this. I think I'm gonna put
It's like the
space.
detail they put on Star Trek. I'm sorry to talk over you. It's like the detail they put on the Star Trek Enterprise. They got all
Well,
those.
that's the repetition. You know, for sci-fi anything that you build, repetition is critical.
Yeah.
Um,
You know what those are, by the way?
what are those?
Those are escape crafts
Skip the oh yeah, on the Starship Enterprise. Yes, I agree.
on the soft saucer section.
They showed it in one of the episodes. I think it was the one where the saucer section was disconnected and it crashed onto the planet, or they showed it where the escape craft broke off and they had a little bit of thrusters underneath them on each four corner. Okay. I'm liking what's going on at the top here, which I'm not getting. So I'm going to bring the camera up a little bit and see. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Oh, I like that. Like that. Right. Um, I'm rotating it a little bit, just kind of see. That's just very cool looking. Um, all right. So why don't we go to the material mode here? Let's kind of give it a material here. It's taking its own little time. It's animating, right? Let me stop the animation. It's taking its own sweet little time. There we go. And I don't know if I have a material placed on here. I don't think I do. So grabbing the torus itself, let's put a material on here. Um, yeah, no material is on here. Let's go hit the new. We'll call this one torus. I'm going to kind of like play around with this here. I want to, I'm visioning like this red metallic, reddish metallic type of a look. I mean, if you guys have other suggestions, put it, just throw it in a chat box and I'll follow them. I'll try them out. So here, go to the like a red, and that type of red would come closer to the white and see. I like that pure red nicer right about there. Okay. Um, and then I might go ahead. Let me right click on this and give this a shade auto smooth there. Okay, that's shades of smooth. Um, the torus is selected. Make it the red. Okay. Right about there. I think we give a metallic. You know what? I need to give it stars in the background, right? We're gonna make it. We're gonna say this object's in space. So there's a couple of things I can do. I can actually generate stars procedurally. Oh, Karen put something in the chat box here. And say, oh, the Star Trek. No, I'm not gonna play it right now. That is dangerous. I have some. Well, I think I have some backgrounds handy. I need to go find them.
I remember when I had a red torus, I had to see a doctor.
What was that?
I said, I remember when I had a red torus, I had to see a doctor.
Oh, okay. So anyway, let me go to my. I'm going to go over here and just take a quick look. Where is my lessons folder? Right there, presentations. And I have a textures folder, if I remember correctly. That's texture paint. That's not. That's something different. I'm going to go to the torus animation. I guess I can go to NASA and grab a background, right? All right, torus. There is torus animation. Okay, nothing's in there yet. All right. So what I'm going to do is I can do it procedurally, but this idea just popped into my head that if I nebula images at NASA, they have some real cool stuff there. There we go. Okay. Um, some of these will work, but I know I've been to NASA's site and seen the high resolution stuff they had. So I'm going to go, let's see, NASA government. There we go. There should be this link here. Let's go play. Come on. What's the matter with you? Okay, it's taking a long time to go to it. It's thinking. It's thinking. Huh. Internet's behaving kind of slow today. Oh, and now it doesn't want to find it. Cool. All right. Find archive nebula. Let's try this one. Hubble. This is it. Okay. We can use these. Um, these are kind of cool. What do you guys think? Probably that. This is too busy for a background. I like the. This one might be able to work. This could probably work. What do you guys think? Let's see if a link to an HDR, the original, the full size 2.6. Here's the large size 346 megabytes in size. Let's do that one. Let's go for broke. 346 megabytes. There it is. It's right there. So they give it to me in a real big size. Let's right click on it. Let's save image as. We're gonna go to that torus folder, which is under my lessons folder. I kind of keep everything as organized as possible. So my lessons, Inside the lessons is my presentations, which I put under zero presentations, and I go down to Taurus. Now I can go to presentations here and then type in T for Taurus, T-O. There it is, Taurus animation. We're going to make a images folder, Control Shift N for new. All right, and let's go double click it and put it right inside. Let's go do more than one because we may not like this one. So if I just go back a couple, let's go find something different. Let me see what this one looks like here. All right, and they've got a large one too. Let's go find out. Yes, they do. They got a 6.6 full-size original. Let's grab that one and save that one into the folder. It's nice. They're all JPEGs. Let's go do one more just in case, we don't like either of those. I kind of like this one here. Click on it because it's got that single light source we can use as the where the lights actually can be directional. All right, this one's got a 359 megabyte, so I'm going to grab that one, screen size, and save as. There. And just because I'm going to be a little greedy, oh, that's kind of cool. There, this could be some nice animation stuff. I'm going to go down, just take a look at this. That one is not that interesting. So this one I think will be interesting because it's got a lot of stars in it. So I'll grab this one. And we will go find the larger one, which is, what is this one? Print layout. Okay, that's not what I want. I want the image. So this 160 megabytes. Here's the screen size, which is 252 megabytes. Or is that, yeah, same thing, right? 252, 87 megabytes, large publication. Screen size, I'm gonna go with that one right there. We're going to full size. Okay, and that is it's a TIFF file, huh? Interesting. Don't worry, Blender can read TIFF files. So now we're going to go play. We're just going to go into Blender and try this out. Let's get out of this camera mode here and go to hit zero on the keyboard. It pops out of that camera mode. In order for this to work, we have to be in render mode. Okay, which we are now. We can't see anything because we have no lights in the scene. We won't need lights. Well, we might need lights, but we're going to use the background up there to kind of illuminate and see what happens. So that means I'm going to bring up my my shader editor. I could go to the shading tab here, but I'm just going to bring up the editor down in another window. I'm going to break off another window here. Go to the top left-hand corner and grab shader editor. And here you can see by default on the top left-hand corner, you see object. So by default, we're in object mode to texture our object. We still haven't done our plates yet. Matter of fact, while we're here, let's go to the plate here, which is, let me go find, I think we put it in the middle of that thing, right? Yep, right there. Okay, there's a plate there, getting close. And we're going to give that one kind of a bluish metallic look. So in order for that to happen, we're going to hit the plus and hit plus and make sure that is selected. There we go, right there. Hit the plus there for the material, double click it. I'm going to call this one plate. And we'll give it a cyanish. You can barely see it because there's no lights in here, but it'll look good when we get it lit up. We bring in the background. I want to go like a pure cyanish blue. Okay, come down here, bring up the metallic, and bring down the roughness. All right, we'll see reflections when we bring the background in. All right, so we bring it back up. All right, let's go get our background. So here, We're in object mode. We're going to go to world mode. Hit the N key to get that panel out of the way. Hit the period key to the numeric side to bring in my nodes. Bring them up to here, and all I'm going to use is Node Wrangler Control T. That sets it up for me to bring in the image. And right now, it's lighting the scene with a purple glow because it knows it needs an image, but you haven't put an image in yet. So that's why we're getting purple. Let's go get open here and let's go play around. Let's just kind of grab each one and decide which one we're going to like. So double click on the images. Now I can't see the thumbnail here because I didn't tell it to go to thumbnail mode. Right up here, top right corner. It's this tiny little thing is what's by default. Just go to the big thumbnail like this. And we can make the thumbnail larger, drop this down and scroll this over and make them a little bit bigger, make it a little easier to see. All right, let's try the first one. Double click it. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Yeah, it's being lit by that. I'm looking at the best angle to kind of view all this in and seeing the reflectivity. I'm not seeing much on the torus. So I'm going to go to the torus itself. And let me go over here to the right-hand side for the torus. Click on the torus. And if you remember, I didn't give it any metallic. So I want to bring up the metallic high and bring down the roughness. All right, now we can see the background reflecting in there. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go back to the world here. I'm going to kind of pull back a little bit to kind of inspect it. Not bad. I'm kind of liking this. Let's go play with something else. Let's see what this one is here. There it is. That's the stars. It's got multiple stars going on.
Can you turn that grid off?
No, that's the ground. That's the ground plane.
Yeah, but we're in space.
Yes. But I can turn it off. It's right up here on your overlay over here. That's your okay. What is this? Okay, turn that off.
Your Wacom.
All right. So up here is right up here. So you can turn off the floor like that, and you can turn off the X and Y axis like that. So there's nothing there. So yes, you can turn it off. It is turned off. All right, so very little. Now with this one, we're going to have to add in our own lighting to help, enhance the story.
Oh, before you go there, can I offer a suggestion?
Yeah, go for it.
This may or may not work. I think there may be a way to add some more punch to your reflection map.
Not yet. Let's get the background. Let's decide on our background first.
Okay.
So let's decide on what background, and then we'll go to your suggestion. So this is not the background I want to use. I don't like it very much. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just testing each one out, see what it looks like. This is the one I thought might work. That's interesting because there's your star. Move it around. There's the main star there. So that's adding directional lighting, which we can actually see on the object. All right, I think we got one more to take a look at. This one here might be promising because it has that prominent star there for the lighting, but it's got a lot of other extra stuff too. Maybe too much stuff. That's lighting it. Okay, this one I don't like. I think it's too busy. I think I'm going to go back to the other one. So the one before that one, this one here. is either this one or that one of the two. If I go to this one, the only thing I don't like about this one is that it's square format. The other one may be better. So I'm going to go just test it real quick. The very first one. I don't know. I think either one can work. So why don't we go with, let's go with that one. I think that'll work. Now we can, there's our main sunlight here. So if I go to my camera view here, right, I can take the background, we can rotate it around using our node structure here. So go to the rotation on the Z axis and just rotate it around until I get that main light source. There it is right there to kind of shine right where I want it to be. It's probably as good as we're going to be able to do with this image.
Not necessarily.
Okay, all right, now it's time for Carmen's suggestion.
All right. So obviously this is a JPEG, I'm assuming, or is it a PNG?
It is a JPEG.
Yeah. So there are ways to squeeze a little more dynamics out of a JPEG by running it through a gradient and like boosting the lighter colors to much higher than one, so you can like kind of fake some HDR effects with it.
Yeah,
You know Blender?
that happens in compositing in Blender.
No, because you're using it as a reflection map. I'm saying you apply this to it before it's used as a reflection, and so that the brightest parts of your image are more intense as it reflects on the image, on the object.
Okay, I think you're understanding that I'm using it as a reflection map, and I'm not.
What are you doing?
I'm using it as a reflection. It's just a
That's what it's
certain.
the same thing.
No, reflection map is a map that you apply to your object to decide what's going to be reflective and what's not going to be reflective. I'm not.
No, I mean like a map that you apply to the global setting.
Yeah, it's a background. It's a HDRI background. Is what it is right now.
Except it's not HDRI. That's the issue.
Well, I know you're
Yeah.
right. It's
I'm
an
talking about how you can squeeze a little bit more HDRI-ness into the image.
Okay, so I think we've got there are nodes to do that. I have
Right. It
to,
would probably be at nodes.
yeah, it's going to be through nodes, but that's going to distract me from what I'm trying to do first.
All right.
I'm,
That's up to you. I
I'm
can show
still
you in LightWave if you want.
think it's going to be a node thing in compositing in Blender because I know it has those types of features.
Well,
But
not if that's after you render. I'm not talking about that.
yeah,
You need it to do the effect before it renders, so it looks nicer on the object. So it reacts to it like it's HDRI.
okay. Let me think about that. Let me think about how would I approach that in Blender. Okay. So, anyways, all right. So I'm gonna go play around with this one. So we need some lighting in here. I got to figure out how the best way to add some lighting. And I'm thinking either definitely a point light is what I'm thinking about. Something, a point light from the inside. If I pull this back away from the object a little bit, you get a nice little background back there. I could also put it, let me pull the camera back just a little bit and go to the camera view here, options, and I'm going to see what it looks like if we compress the shot a little bit. So 100 millimeters instead of 50 millimeter lens. Yeah, that's nicer. Yeah, that's much nicer. If I push it down, rotate it around, yeah, that's nicer. Push it on over. Okay, let's see what happens when we put a light down in here. Let me get out of this camera mode and go into here. I think we can. That would be safe to. Let's see if I select this here. Yes, put the Shift S cursor to select it. Shift A, and we're going to bring in a light source, and we're going to bring in a point light source. Let's
By
see
the
what
way,
it.
what I was suggesting, I'm sorry to interrupt you. What I was suggesting means that you could actually use your image as the light source instead of adding point lights or whatever.
Well, that's exactly what we're doing right now. That's exactly what you're seeing. Is that when we put the image on the background? Remember
Yeah.
when we went to the world here?
Oh, you're
This now
telling the light to be the image.
right? Yeah, this is the image lighting the scene.
Okay, got it.
Okay, yeah, this is the image lighting the scenes. HDRI image. Um, okay, so what was I doing? So if I come back, I'm going to put this inside my lights, camera, action, so I know where it is all the time. And we're going to just bring it on out. Let me see. I've got here. We're going to bring it on out. Right in here, right in the middle. There we go. It's going to light up a little bit. And we're going to have to increase the intensity of the light source and maybe the color of the light source. So the here, let's bring up the exposure a little bit. Okay, I'm bringing it up pretty high and it's still, let me kind of go into the camera view. All right, I'm going to bring up, there we go. Okay. All right. So it was hidden down there. It was hidden inside something. Okay. Let's play. Let's see what we're going to do with this. Let's bring down the exposure a little bit by half. No, take it up. I'm going to go 10, only just to see what, get a strong source to see what the lighting is doing. Um, I'm going to kind of match what I'm seeing on my, and if I go back to here, yeah, okay. So if I pull this back more, yeah, it's going inside. If I pull it back and down, so I'm just kind of seeing how I'm liking the shadows. I'm not liking the shadows there. I'm liking the shadows more up here. This thing's in the way. I need to get it out of the way. It's creating a shadow on the object. So at this point, I got to manipulate. They're going to pull this on down, get out of the way. I'm going to manipulate it until I get the lighting the way I want it to look. So let's go back and grab my point light right there. Okay, I think I want to pull back on the red axis. So yeah, that's what I want. I want those shadows coming across there like so. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's see if I bring it down. That's not bad. That's an interesting perspective. It's hiding it too much there. Here. Now let's bring it further back. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. There's a possibility I can put another light just way back here, getting a rim lighting coming across the edges on the right side. The way that I have it composed, I don't think it's going to matter so much. All right. Okay, I think this is kind of cool. I want to change the light source to something more yellow warm. So I can go to any color in here. Just take it a little warmer. Okay. One other thing I could do too. The There's always more than one thing I can do, but the radius, I guess, the radius is already set to where I want it. It's harsh. You can see the harsh edges there. Let's go back to here. Um, I can see the harsh edges in here because my radius is 0. If I bring the radius up, see it softens. So it's to soften a little bit. Maybe I want it just slightly soft. Yeah. That adds a nice smoothness to it. Okay. This is going to get more interesting. So I got a few things up my sleeve here. In fact, it's time for break. Um, let's stop that real quick. I'm going to save it. Command Shift S. I'm going to call this number 4 because I don't want it to overtake the other. And we're going to do a 15-minute break. Time flies when you're having fun. And we're always having fun. There is no fun without Blender
And LightWave.
and LightWave. That's right. So there we go. Let's take a break and come back. And we got some more exciting stuff to do. And what I'll do is I'll mute my mic temporarily.
Yeah. Can you bring me up a brand timer? That top band is to the bottom of the block.
It is that time. Cool. All right. We're all back. We're all back, ready to go. Oh, David Glenn is here. Cool. Welcome, David. There, I'll give you the link if you want to jump on and share. Let me do that real fast. Move some stuff out of the way. All right, here we go. So if you would like to jump on and share on our channel, there is the link right there. Okay, so we're covering a couple of the new features in Blender 5 that I didn't cover last week. It's more than a couple. All you have is your cell. So you're out of town. Okay, no worries. No worries. We're gonna keep having some fun here.
Hey, Steven, if you scroll up a little bit, you'll see the ultimate results of what I was working on when I was doing my presentation.
Okay, the ultimate result, scroll
It
up.
says render result.
Says render result. I'm not seeing it on my. Oh, I see. There it is. Got it right there. All right. So we'll keep that. We'll keep that handy, and we'll share that right after I'm done with this. But in the meantime, everybody's got that link there too. So. All right, so where were we? Okay, so what we did, we're doing the instance on, what is it called? I'm forgetting the name of the modifier I'm using. Instance, a minute. Instance on elements. Okay, instance on element. So if you add in a modifier, you go to your instance, you got instance on elements. Okay, so we've got now what we chose here, if I remember correctly, go to my instance on elements. We chose the faces, which is a good thing. Um, we're playing around with some lighting, and we're just trying to make a decision how we want this lighting to look. I warmed it up a little bit right before we left on break. Go into camera view, and in fact, what I like to do is enlarge the camera view just a little bit. So go to my view, turn off the camera to view, just so I can enlarge everything there a bit. I'm going to get rid of all this extra stuff over here. And that's going to be right over here under my overlay, show overlays options, the two overlapping circle, and turn off the text and turn off the statistics. There we go. Just so I can have some room to play here. In my camera view, I've got this passport out, which is a little bit too transparent. I want to make it more opaque. So click on my camera, go to my camera options, and let's see, whereas I think that is listed under my viewport display, right there, passport art out. If I bring it up, it makes the background a lot more opaque, so I'm able to focus on what I want to focus on here in camera view. Okay, so let me go get out of here. Go back to here. There we go. I'm definitely going to change the camera view a little bit. I think I've got a little too much of the top there. I might go something a little more center, right off, something like this. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to modify our instance a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to come over to, I think it was called the cube. Right about there, we're going to hit the period key. There's my cube. Let's bring it over a little bit more so I don't have to move so far out to go get it next time. Edit mode, tab key, edit mode. Grab the top face. I for inset, inset this in. You know what? Before I do that, I've got another idea. Let's go and grab these four corners. Double click it. Double click the four corners only. Blender doesn't do what you tell it to do. Blender doesn't do what you want it to do. It does what you tell it to do. And I want to tell it to edit those four corners. How? As a bevel, Control B. Do something like that. So you can see they're all being updated on the object in the background. If you look very closely, all the background objects are being edited. Go to my face view. I for inset. Okay. E for extrusion. Let me pull this on out. Pull this on out like this. That's cool. Okay. S key for scale and taper it off like so. Isn't that cool? All right, so there we go. We got that. I'm gonna want to taper off just a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, so it's really spiky. Yeah, we'll leave it like that color. I was thinking about changing a little color. We're gonna change the color a little bit in the tip. No, we won't. Yes, we're gonna add another tip. E key, extrude, pull it straight on out like this. The very top of that tip is selected. Hit the period key here. Control plus to add the rest to just to select the adjoining faces, the adjacent faces. And I'm going to give that another type of a texture. So, or material. So I'm going to go down to materials tab and hit the plus, which creates a new placeholder. And now I want to add the new material in the new button right here. Hit it. Now we got a new material right there. We're going to call this one tip lights. So double click on it. Tip lights. And we are going to change that color to, I don't know, maybe a magenta might be kind of nice. And then we're going to hit, now to apply it, we have to hit the assign button. We hit it, boom, there they are. So all the tips are now that little purplish color. So, but the purpose of this is that I want those tips to actually be lights. So we're going to go down and give this a, go down to emission. Now, before I do so, I want to target this color. I want to copy this color. So with the mouse hovering over the color, Control C, right? Now we come down to the emission, drop it down, hover it over the emission, Control V. Okay, and that's my emission color. Now we need to turn on the lights. All right, now turn it on, up, 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 up. There we go. I'm turning up really, really high. Okay. Starting to get some nice little motion effects going here. So I'm playing around with the different angles and get a different feeling. We can even fly through it. Maybe we'll have a camera flying through it and around it. So one of my a nice little feature in Blender is the new. If I go over here to my render option up here, the right side vertical menu with the colorful icons, the very top one looks like a 35 millimeter camera, or second from the top down. That's going to be your render options, and making sure you're in cycles. When I went to render mode, I was in cycles with GPU compute. Max samples, I'm going to keep this low. All right, I'm going to keep this low just for testing purposes. And that's for both the viewport as well as the render right down here. Viewport as well as the render. So I don't have that. I don't have it here. The glare control. Glare controller is what I should have. Now, I just reloaded my operating system yesterday, which means I had to reload Blender on from scratch. Therefore, I lost all my previous Blender preferences. So I have to go get it. Edit mode and glare controller is what it's called. Go over to my add-ons. Not there. Okay, if it's not here, that means it's going to be in my extensions. There it is. Glare controller right there. I'm going to install it. It's installed. Okay, so if I go back to add-ons, it's right there. It's installed and it's checked. All right. Okay, so it should be good to go. Go back. There's my glare controller. I'm going to enable the viewport glow. And, okay. Always disable, camera only, disable. What's this? Disable. It should be on always, actually. Okay, so what's happening here is I'm not quite sure what's going on with the glare controller in 5.0. And the reason I say that here is that there's supposed to be another button that allows me to choose what type of glare that I want. Maybe what it is. Well, let me try something. Let me go to the compositing tab. I'm going to just explore. Compositing tab has these nice little features here too. Let me get rid of this. But in order for this to happen, I have to actually create a render. So let me go hit the F12 key on the keyboard. Way bright, way too bright. Okay, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to do something else also. Let me kind of go back to my modeling tab. Okay. Let's do, we got a lot of, let me bring down, remember the light source we put in the center? So camera light, so point light here. Let's turn that down, maybe off, because we've got that new light source on those tips. Maybe we won't need that anymore. So I'm going to turn off the visuals for the viewport, and I'm going to turn it off for the render. And then for the render options here, I'm going to my right below my render options is it's like a picture of inkjet printer. I'm gonna tell it to be 50% the size. I don't want to render the whole thing. I want this to be quick and fast. Okay, and we're gonna do an F12 render. Okay, so there it is. Okay, it's way too bright. So we're gonna have to bring down. I'm getting a brighter result in the render than we are in the actual viewport. And that should not be the case. What is this? Get out of here. Go away. Thank you. All right, and I need to discover why that is. So I am going to, let me try this. Let me go and go to the object, go to my tab, object mode. Okay. Go grab my cube. In the cube, I've got all those little white points, right? Come down here, go down to the emission. Let's take it down to 30 and let's see what happens. Let me hit the camera view. That's what I'm getting. Pull it on, pull this here. N key for numerics, view, come down the camera to view, N key for numerics, make it go away. Now I can pull this back. Let's pull this like that. All right, let's do a quick render. See what we get. All right, so we're getting a real bright render on there. And I'm wondering why I don't see it in the viewport, but I'm seeing it only in the render. So I got to figure that one out. So I'm going to take my strength down. It's 30 again for the emission. And let me take a look at, go back to the compositing tab. Okay, let me see what I've got here. And we should have, I don't know, I thought the node would have been automatically activated. There we go. All right, so this is showing me, it's not giving me any information as to why this is much brighter. So this is my output for both the viewer as well as the renderer. And that's it. It's all coming from Blender directly. Very interesting. Let's do something else. Let's try, let's see, well, I guess there's a curves option. There's levels, or what is it called here? Let me go to here. Color, let's see, input, output. Let's see if I go to, there's a curves, chromatic aberration. That's new in Blender 5, chromatic aberration. To match what you get in your the camera raws in Photoshop for correcting color offset, because your sensor glass isn't all that great. And we got color balance and exposure is what I want. So I can just drop the exposure in here, and I guess I can control it that way, but that's not what I really want to do. So I'll put it back to 1. Let me go Shift A again and play around output of the color here. So we got to adjust. See, similar things you see in Photoshop: brightness and contrast, color balance. So in the compositing tab is giving you post-processing techniques, very similar to what you would do in your post-processing programs like Photoshop. Tone mapping, I don't think it's really going to help. We got exposure I already have up there. Color balance, you can play with some of that, but I'm going to Depth combine. Yeah, I need to find out why this is happening, why I'm getting a different visual result. But the first thing I'm thinking of is I'm going to control the output of those lights there. It's probably combining. If I go back to modeling, these tips here. So my thought process was if I can see it decently here, let me go up here to my render option and pull this on down. Glare controller. Yeah, the glare controller is functioning very oddly. Now what I can do is go back to 4.5 and then I can show you what I'm talking about. So 5.0 is missing some functionality here that um, that shouldn't be happening. So, but the way you can work around that is go to your compositing tab. I'm going to bring down the intensity a little bit. See, it's not giving me what I'm looking. It is bringing down the intensity, but overall, what I really want to do is to deal with the light areas. I'm wondering if I can bring in a curve. So search, go to curves, tone curves are right here. I got RGB curves as well. It's time curves. I said tone, I meant time. And I can bring in the curves here, get rid of this exposure. Let's connect that here. Get rid of the exposure. Okay. And we can just, yeah, it's not, again, it's not giving me what I need exactly, but I got to figure out why that is. So, anyways, what I'm going to do, if I've got time, I'll show you what I'm talking about in 4.5. In fact, I'm going over to Blender and download. I've got 4.5 here already. So again, I reloaded my operating system. So the 4.5, which would normally be on here, is not on here. But if I go to 5.4, 4.54 right there, okay, I'm going to go ahead and install it. Let that sit on the other monitor so that you guys can see what 5.0 is missing. Now, I don't know if maybe there's another way that the additional functions can be controlled. Okay, it's thinking. I'll just pull that over here for now. I'm just going to kind of get rid of that. Okay, so next. Cool. Next. Okay, so it's installing. And there we go. So it's just about done. And now that way I can show you guys exactly what it is that I'm concerned about. All right, 50% done already. I got a pretty quick system. So there it is. It's done. All done. All right, cool. All right, so let's get out of here. It takes you there anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 5.0. I'm going to drag it over to my third monitor. Right over here. Then I'm going to go get the 4.5 here. And you get to see what I'm talking about. I'm going to bring in the same project. Okay, so here, quick setup, key map. Yeah, bring it from the Blender previous. This looks good. And that looks good. All right, so then if okay, so I got to go and set up some things. So edit menu preferences. This will be a review for some of you guys. Input, and I want to emulate 3-button mouse here. My navigation, I want to orbit around it and also select the depth. Key map, tab for Pi menu, system, CUDA, AMD processor. You want both my processor as well as my graphics card to work as the rendering. And then right over here, I got OpenGL by default. I'm going to go over to Vulkan, which is the new option. All right, cool. I think that should do it. Okay, now let's go get our project. Let's go to open and go to my lessons, go to my presentations, and then go on down to, what was I called? I think that was called the Taurus animation. There it is. And then this one is called number 4, right? So let me click it. There we go. Okay, let's see. Go to layout view here, modeling view here. Okay, there we go. Let's go back to Z key, render. All right, now we need to make sure also in the preferences, I've got that add-on, which is our glare controller. All right, not there. Go to extensions. Oh, you know what? I got to turn on under the system. I have to turn on allow online access here. There, forgot that. All right. Now go to my add-ons. Okay, online access. I want to put in glare. Huh. Glare controller. Okay, so let me check one little thing. I'm gonna go to the other one and see if maybe there is a preset, or let me see where this is. Let me go over to edit menu preferences. Okay, so this is glare controller. No one comes up right in here. So this is the 5.0 we're looking at now. That's themes, add-ons. Glare doesn't come up here either, but it does come up here. There it is, install. All right, it was just taking a little while to come up, I guess. Okay, there it is. Okay, all right, so it's 4.54. Now see right here, here it is. There's my enable viewport glow. Right over here, right below that, it says insert and control glare. That didn't exist in 5.0. That all this is missing in 5.0. So I'm assuming they're going to correct that. If I click this here, look, I get the glare effect right here in my 3D viewport. So by default, it's got these nice little streaks, right? Well, we can drop it down and go to bloom, which is what we really want, or the ghosts. Get the ghosting effect. That might be kind of interesting. Oh yeah, I like that ghosting effect. Let's see what the bloom effect looks like. And out of curiosity, let's see what the streaks. Yeah, streaks is kind of cool. We've got fog glow, which is the original option before it was updated to this new version. Then we got low, which is giving you a low fog effect. So how about if we go to, let's go to bloom. That's a little bit stronger. The threshold, more the threshold. Let me go back over to here. Pull this on down. All right. And that glow is kind of a purplish. Let's see if we change that. We'll change that in just a little bit. That's the bloom, and it's in low. I can go to high quality. Yeah, that's nice. You can go to medium. You can go to low, which is where it was. I'm gonna go to high. Okay, and we got a tint also. I'm gonna play with this. So that's adding a tint, a bluish tint, magenta, reddish. See that's what I love about this. Now, this is working in 4.5, and none of this is in 5.0. I got the glare size, right? So bring it up higher or bring it down lower. It might be easier to see if I stop playing the animation. Bring it down lower, see, or higher. Let's go to yellow. Yellow's kind of giving us the same result. Higher. Yeah, this is actually just giving it a tint mostly. Take that to there. Okay. All right. So there you have it. All right. So I've got it. This is what I was trying to do. So now let me see what it looks like if I actually do a render from here. So F12. See, I'm still getting that same thing. Now this is like I got to discover why this is happening. Not quite sure what's going on in Blender, what I have set in Blender that's giving it a super intense effect. Not unless, let me go take a look at my outliner. Let's go to the light source. The lights are turned off, right? If I take that point light that I had in there, it's off. Can't be manipulated. Render is off. Viewport is off. And hey, if somebody has an answer, I would love to hear it. But um, Glenn says I'm stuck using this. Oh, that's something else. I already saw that. Saw that there. See any other comments? So Dorg, welcome. Hello. We're just playing around in Blender. It's just a Blender discussions thing. Okay, so there is my animated object with my effects. I would be happy with this if we were able to control the intensity. Now let me try this. Let me do one thing. Let's turn off. Let's go ahead and go to the emissions for this. Let's get out of here. Go to object mode. Select my object, and let's do this. I want my cube to be selected. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe what the problem is. Hold on a second. Okay, that's the tip lights. The plate. There's no duplicate textures here. So if I go to the tip lights and let's do this, let's go down to the emissions and turn the strength to 0. Okay, and let's see what happens. I'm going to hit an F12 render. That's right. Oh, okay. I know. Okay, I know what just happened. Okay, duh. See, this is this. Trust me, you guys going to get screwed up on this one easily too. All right, watch this. Let me turn that back on. Let me turn the emission back on. This is what's happening. It, it completely forgot about this. Let's turn these back on. Okay. Okay. There's a reason why it's doing this. All right. Watch this. Go to my modifiers. Let's see. What did I just do? Doesn't matter. Let's go to my modifiers right about here. We need to select the right there. Here's the problem. the subdivision levels. You notice that I have it turned off. Everything's turned on, the monitor symbol, with the exception of the subdivisions, it's turned off. So I'm thinking I shouldn't see it. Silly me. If you look to the right of the monitor symbol, the render is on. I turn that render off. Let's see what happens. There it is. Okay, that's what happened. This happened to me before. It was a project for a client where I was doing a fly through the galaxy with planets and stars, but I had a lot of layers. I had a lot of 3D layers in the outliner, and I was so sure everything was correct and turned on and off, and there was a couple I was missing. And it's going to be easy to do. So there it is. There's my render. Yeah, it's a good lesson. You see Steve screw up on here. It's kind of like, okay, if Steve does it, I gotta watch out. Yeah, you do. When you get so many different layers on there, and it looks great here in the viewport, and then you render it and something's completely whacked out, it's because you've got something turned on and render that shouldn't be turned on. So in other words, the client came and you turned off the monitor for a bunch of different layers because you don't want the client to see it, or you want the client to see it the way the client has told you to display it. You've got it looking right, but then when you go render, you forgot to turn off the render properties. So that's what happened there. So, okay, so now that's working perfectly fine. So, so just be aware that until I'm assuming that 5.01 fix or that 5.1 fix and the 5.1 update coming up is going to correct that glare node problem that we're having. In 5.0, it does not give you all the properties for the glare node, as you saw. So now I can go back to my render tab. There's my glare controller. And I can decide, let's see, what have I got here? Enable viewport glow. I got the bloom there. So the higher the threshold, the less bloom. The lower the threshold, the more bloom. In fact, if you take it almost closer to zero, it blooms the background nebula. So I just want just object bloom instead of the background nebula. The higher the intensity is, for example, if I go and get the cube and I go back down to the emissions, and that is going to be, and we go back up to my material tab, go down to emissions rate. The higher your emission, the more it blooms, right? The brighter your emission, the more it's going to bloom. So you can control it that way. Really cool stuff. Yeah, and I saw Carm just posted. Well, don't we definitely gonna. I'm gonna leave time to go view some of Carm's stuff too. All right. So now we can kind of play it. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to attach bones to this instance object so that it looks like hair inside a liquid, moving and flopping around. And Blender's got new bone addition features. Look at that. Get in there. There you go. Kind of. Now, you might want to change. You take a look at this. You might want to change. Now, the camera is compressing because it's 100 millimeters, I believe. Let me go to the camera. Go to my camera options, and it is, go back to the top, it's 100 millimeters. What if I go to 30 millimeters, make it wide angle camera. Um, and I need to go hit the 0 key for the camera view. There we go. So here, let me go back to 100 millimeters, 100 millimeters, like that, right? We go to 30 millimeters, it's really going to make it wide angle. So that means we got to get in close, and you're going to get a different view when you get in. See, it's a more dynamic, elongated view. If I get in closer like this, see, I'm getting a nice, I like that angle right about there. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So I'm going to add some bones to this to get these tentacles or whatever you call them, or spikes, to actually, twist and turn with the direction of of the flow of the object. And then I'll use that. Maybe I'll put that as a piece, animate in and around the piece, and I'll use it as something for my little portfolio for motion graphics. So that wide angle view. All right. Different angles give you this different kind of looks. You're getting something different every time you move around. You just play. Go to the top. Look at that. Could be an alien starship. Got the background back there. So I think the other little thing I would add to this is also atmospheric. Add some atmospherics. So let's do that real quick. We got time. Um, Hit the 0 key on the keyboard. Go back to my viewport. Kind of stop this. And to quickly do this, let's go ahead and go to solid view, hitting the Z key. Select my object. Command S, Shift S, cursor to select it, should be right dead center. Shift A, mesh the cube, because our fog, we create this fog atmospheric. S key, bring it up high like that, like that. There we go. Bring it up like that. Okay. Um, we need to give this fog a material. So we're going to call this fog. So hit the new, double click it. We're going to call it fog. If we go to, we got to go back to render view now. We're going to see nothing but black because the fog is, that cube has blocked out the background, and we're inside it. So we're going to come down to our shader panel on the bottom, and we're in world view right now. Drop it down to object view, and there's my fog cube. We can't use this node. The principal BSDF is for physical surfacing of your object. This has to be a node that's going to make our cube fog. Going to turn our view. We want to turn our cube into fog. So we got to get rid of this one. Select it and delete it. So we want a node that's called a volume node. Volume nodes will turn any object, no matter what it is, into fog. So Shift A, we're going to go to our little search menu, and we're just going to put in VOL for volume. And what you want is called volume scatter, which is one of the best ones to use for fog. You are not going to connect it into surface. Just got to keep that. Remember that. Even though it's green to green, you don't go to surface. You want to connect it to your volume. You want to turn it to fog. So select it and boom, now it's black. Why? Because the fog is too dense. It's turned it to fog, but it's way too dense. So density is 1.0, which means it's pretty dense solid fog. Take it down to zero point 0.1, and there we go. Okay, now we're starting to get less fog. We want to get it to the point where we can see some of that nebula in the background too. So zero point 0.1, how about 0.05, half of that. So 0.05, there we go. We're starting to see some of the background now. All right, we're starting to see some of the background. So 0.05, maybe 0.03. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. And 0.01, let's see what that does. Okay. So you're kind of getting overall of a low level haze going around over here. Now, I can duplicate this cube again. I got a cube 1, so that's this one here. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this cube again. I'm going to call this one fog. Double click it and call it fog, so I can keep track of this. Okay, there's my fog cube. I'm going to duplicate it. So Shift D, and then just right click to set it back. And this is going to be called fog 001. You'll notice that under the materials, there's a number 2 to the right hand side of fog. That means they're sharing the same material, and I can't allow them to share the same material. So I'm going to click it. Now it calls it fog 001, because now that material is brand new. It's completely separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to intensify that fog a little bit. So instead of 0.01, let's go to 0.05. We'll say 7. Okay. And that added a real tense. So what I'm doing is I'm adding another layer of fog on top of it. With this layer of fog, we're going to actually break it up so that you have pockets of fog instead of one big haze everywhere. Okay, so in fact, let's turn off this fog right here in my outliner. I'm going to hit the monitor symbol. We're going to turn that one off. This other fog, which is right above it, let's give it a different color, okay? Here's my volume here for that fog. I'm going to select it and maybe give it a little bit of a different color. I'm just moving it around to see what works. There you go. We can see it go almost a little greenish. Let's see if we go to yellow. It's very subtle what's going on. Almost a bluish. We'll go to that one right there. All right, now we're going to go to the other one. Turn this on. Okay, and I was magnifying it, but this time we are going to control the density of it. So we're going to control the density by giving it a color ramp. So search color ramp, here and tap in the color into the density. Okay. Not yet. Not yet. Let's do this first. Add in the noise here. Noise texture here. I suppose I'm going to tap into color into the density. There. Now I'm going to put in the color ramp right after it, which is going to alter it. So the noise texture is giving you colored noise textures. This is going to alter it or remap everything to black or white. So if I bring the black over like this, that means the black starts to dominate. If I click and release, shift and control and shift, and then click and release on this, now we're only going to see what this is doing. So it's breaking up that fog. If you bring it back like this, you get to see what that's doing. All right, if I shift to control and shift on this one, let's see. Okay, come on. There we go. That's your texture. And you can control the size of your texture. Matter of fact, shift control here, you can see what it's doing with the color ramp. It's easier to see. Mess with my scaling. Bring it up like this. I'm going to bring it down like this. The more black, the more transparent. So I want little bits of fog bank or islands out there. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to disconnect all this from the surface. There. Let's go back to my camera view. All right, if I pull this back, see, pull it forward, and then I can pull the white closer. So you're breaking up that fog a little bit. Let's see what this looks like. If we pull this back, so you're seeing the whole cube here, so you get to see what's happening here. There's my little object in the middle and a big foggy cube all around it. Even at the second fog cube, you can even reduce the size a little bit just to offset it compared to the original. Control A, rotation and scale. Go back to my camera view, hit 0 on the keyboard, and then you can play around with this. You got a little bit of fog going on back there. Maybe if I pull it back a little bit. See, if I bring the white closer, it gets stronger. If I bring the blacks over, it kind of gives you a definitive drop off. So you just got to play with it. I don't know. Kind of fun. Let's see. David Glenn made a comment. I just noticed it. That would make a nice boss for a game. Make a nice boss for a game. Let's see. There's a lot more we can do with this. I mean, we can do lightning and stuff coming from the tips of these things, and but that's for another tutorial. Maybe we'll play around with that later. In the meantime, to come in here and play around with this. Isn't that fun? So that's you. That's yeah, that was all using one of the new modifiers in Blender, which is our instance on elements. I think it's going to be very very handy because you can use this for rocks. In fact, here let me stop this real quick and let me go over here to solid mode. Go to this view here. So we got instance on elements. Let's see what other options. We got a transform options. Right. We've got X, so you can resize them. Let's go down over here to surface offset. Okay, there we go. We got the Z's. You want to really stretch it up high. I mean, we can animate all this, right? So let's see what it looks like if we go back to render view real quick. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. All right, so if I can go higher and then lower. So if I stop it, and then higher. So I can actually change the length on the Z axis, just animate those features like bigger here, smaller there, and kind of do this. Get it to pulsate. All right, we'll do that next time. I'll play around with this more and see. Maybe we'll do a pulsating with lightning flying from the tips and all that stuff. So let's share. Let's see. Carm, you put something up. Let me. Carm has something to share here. Did you want to? Carm, are you there? Carm is not there. Well, he posted something, and I'm going to grab it. I think he posted it. Actually, it's over here in the Twitch chat box. So I'll grab that. Let's see. I think further progress. I believe in what he was sharing with us. All right, let's just bring over a tab. Let's go ahead and post that in there and see what he's got. Okay, so all right, what did he? It's a texture of some kind. It looks like it. Yeah, that was David Glenn shouting on it. It's a texture of some kind. But he gave us a couple links. Here's another. Not unless this is the same one. This is the second one. It may be the same thing. Hit the plus. Make another tab. Oh, it's another one. Okay, so this looks like the surface map, the bump map, possibly. This can be used as a reflection map. Now we got a YouTube one that they also gave us too. Let's go check that out. And thank you, Carm, for sharing with us. Okay, so this is wicked AI. Did he do this? The AI? Or was it something that was just okay? We'll watch that later. I don't think this is something he did. I think it was something he was putting up here as a joke. But what AI is doing now is absolutely amazing. I found some new AI apps in terms of Blender that I'm absolutely quite impressed with. So I'm playing with them now. So I'll share more of those with you as we um, do the Saturday meetings, and as I get to know the maps a little bit better. So Carm says yes, it's AI, but it's not something. Is this something you did, Carm, or is this something you were just showing what AI can do? Hold on a second. Let me unmute you.
Testing, testing.
Yeah, I
You
can.
got
I
me
can.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I didn't do it. It's just something else somebody posted about Star Trek characters from all the different shows dancing together in disco.
Okay,
But we couldn't hear the music when you were playing it.
you could hear it,
We could not.
or you could not hear. It? Okay, that's what I thought. Unless I can go in here. Well, everybody can watch that on their own.
Yeah.
I was hoping to see something you were doing personally, but
Was it? I
not
did.
cool.
I mean, you looked at the thing I was doing. I've further progressed it if you want to see. If you want me to share or anything like that.
Yeah, but I did. Let me
No, I
go
mean
back
even more than what you saw.
on a second. It's right back here in the tab. That
Yeah,
there,
that's an
right,
older version, but yeah, it's similar.
and then this was the bump map.
That's the result of the streak thing I was showing you when I was demonstrating live.
Hmm.
But I redid it because the streaks weren't long enough, so they're longer now. I think it looks a little
Okay,
better.
and then those are the only two that I saw here that you posted.
Right, those are old ones.
Okay, did you have new ones to post?
I can post them, or I could just show you live if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Share
Right.
your screen, and I'll go ahead and remove mine when I see yours share. And we're still waiting for your screen. There it is. Okay, let me go remove mine and add you to stage.
Yeah, I just got the streaks are longer now. I think it looks a little nicer.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
This is this is the original particles. This is the result of the streak effect. I just I altered that gain value so they persist a little longer,
Mm-hmm.
and then I painted white at the bottom where they were disappearing.
Okay.
And what I'm realizing is because my normal bomb, the black bomb, it's reflecting all of the lights around it. So I'm going to have to render a series of lights around this guy so it can have the same effect, but it's going to be more complex because it's got bump maps and stuff.
Hmm.
So that's going to be a challenge, but it'll be interesting looking when it's done.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Cool. All right. I've got something a little one last thing to share. Um, I have made progress on printing out. Here, let me save this one. Control S. Let me actually add me to stage. There we go. All right, I just saved that one, and let me go back and get that space station. I'll show you guys. I just started 3D printing it. I want to kind of show you the progress on it if you're interested. So open recent, and oh, this is 5.0 still open in here? Let's see. 5.0 is right there. Okay. Nope, wrong one. I want that one there. Okay, there's 5.0. Let me turn that off. And this is the one I had the glare controller problem with. And remember that we simply go to our let's get out of here first. We got to go back into our modeling. There we go. Go to my object and turn off that see subdivision there. It's on the render and testing it out F12, and there it is. Okay, that's the 5.0. But we don't have glare controller there, so that's the big bummer, that but when I saw that it wasn't working properly, it's kind of like, oh man. And that happens often in Blender. It's like when the foundation makes an update, some of the old plugins may or may not work. So but they usually will address it in upcoming fixes. So as I started to share with you earlier, let's go to my docking bay. I'll go ahead and save it. That's no big deal. Okay, you guys have seen this before. I've shown you this before. I've started printing it, and I'm going to show you the results of that printing. I just finished. Um, well, there's another piece I want to show you as well, but it's in the kitchen. I need to go grab it, but let me go grab that piece real fast. It'll just take me 10 seconds. Go back because it was drying off during the break time. Okay, so I've got it here. Now this is going to be big. It's going to be really big. All right, I'm gonna turn off the sharing my screen. Actually, I don't have to do that. What I could do is just do. All right, and I can do this. Now I'm going to turn off the background because it's going to be easier to see this. So visual effects, none. Okay, you can see my messy office, but it'll be easier to see. Okay, so here, let me show you just real fast. Share my screen. Okay, so what I've done is I've organized it so I'm printing each of these in sections. And these arms here that you see here, these arms here articulate, they rotate. So I got a spool that goes through these holes and connects them together, um, even the ones on the bottom. And then you can rotate the arms up or down, right? As the starship fits inside. So I'm going to show you the results of that now. So let's go ahead and go to my full screen.
Are you going to have all these articulated motors controlled by a Pi computer or something?
Well, that's up to the builder, right? I'm I just design it and I'm printing it out. It's up to the builder to decide how it's going to go. So I'm going to show you each panel so you can see how big this is. All right, so you can see that's one of the outside arms. I did this in halves. This is the grid with the lights, right? That goes on here. We're getting closer to the camera. This fits flush right on here. I did it in half so that you can see the inside, right? So the light, so behind this grid, you're going to put your diffusion plastic, and then there's LED lights behind here. And if you look here, you can see there's plenty of room there to put lights. Um, the arms here is where the wiring goes through. So the wiring would go from inside. Let's go this way, right. Can't get my finger right through here. Turn this around right through there, and comes out into here. And then this portion fits into this. So let me stand up for this. So if I slide it in just like this, so the little spool goes in there, the wires will come through here, and then of course when you're displaying it, it'll be like this, kind of like this angle.
Is your client making a Star Trek film or something?
No, I was just hired to build a custom designed space station.
Yeah, I know, but
Wait,
what's he doing with them?
hold on a minute. Let me finish talking. Um, um, he's a builder. He's a model builder. He's a collector of models.
Oh, okay.
So he discovered I was doing this in 3D, and hired me to custom design and build the model kit for him. So then this goes right on top with the lights. Now even this one on the inside here will have the same thing. They have the same lights like this.
So he's making like dioramas and stuff.
That's right. That's right. And he's got a huge house, big piece of land. He has a huge collection. And then this articulates like this, like, up and down. It can be angled. The rods aren't done being printed yet, but they'll go right inside and hold everything in place where you can articulate this thing. So the body of it, which is, let me show you on the, let's see, let me go get my mouse here. The body of it, okay, which is, as you can see here, this section just got done being printed this morning. Now this is in sections, right? So I've got to print these I got to print these 6 times. And each one takes 32 hours to print. All right, so now I'm going to show you that next. So let me kind of go to the large view here. And it's not cured yet, but you can see this. I got the support still on the bottom, but you can see on the inside, the client can put all the lights inside, all through there. And then there are the arms. And then look at the detail. Let me pull this closer. Look at the detail on there. That's like a little support issues, but so when this thing is put together, so I have to print, these go 3 long along with the head, which I have yet to print. The head is this portion here, right up here in front. So I'll show you next on how. Hey, open, don't save it. Let's see, unfrozen dock. I think that's what I had. Resize, unfrozen, unfrozen dock. Maybe that's it. Let me take a look at that. Nope, that's not it. Let me go to this one here. Docking bay, docking bay, docking bay. Was it this one here? Okay. So this is going to be the head. So that's going to be printed out in one piece. You can see these little flat areas. That's intentional so that when they glue it together, they got these real flat portions here that they can just put a glue on it, stick it together, and it's going to stay together. So all this here, these little flat portions will be flush with the body of the ship. That's right over here.
Question:
Yes.
once it's glued, is it difficult to take it apart?
Um, yes and no, because I am designing one of the top parts to be removed so that if you need to take it apart, you can easily remove it.
Yeah, I was thinking like if a LED panel goes bad or something, it would be hard to replace if it's all glued solid.
Yeah, that I'm gonna have to leave to the client to figure out how they want to do it because they can we can easily do magnets, but um, yeah, I mean I hear what you're saying, but it's kind of um,
With your 3D printer,
I kind of leave it to the builder to kind of figure out how they want to actually put it together. I make it easier for them to glue together, but it's not a this is not a type of a thing that you build snap parts for because it's too big and it's too heavy. Because
what if
this
I
red,
had like a
uh,
glue that could slide it together?
yeah, I mean, even if it's a clip part type of a thing, it wouldn't look good. I mean, because they're entering these so and they're entering these models. Everything that I built for people are entered into competitions,
Oh,
and clip parts just don't look good. So
maybe
and
he only
you,
cares about the competition, and after that, it doesn't matter if the lights go bad.
yeah, that's right. So they go for competition. They glue it all together and paint it up and detail it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a lot of work for a competition.
yeah, yeah, the work comp. I mean, I try to apply some flexibility, but there's only so much I can do.
I saw
I get,
that there was this local news report interviewing
yeah,
a guy who was assembling one of those things where he stacks dominoes up super high. It was a really elaborate thing that took him like dozens and dozens and dozens of hours to build.
yeah.
And so the guy in the news is interviewing him about it, and as he's walking around it, he's dragging his microphone cord, and the cord knocks the thing over. All of his dominoes go crashing down.
Oh no, oh no.
The
So
guy was so gutted.
here's the little rod that I designed it. So I kind of designed it to look like it's going to be part of the ship. So you put the rod through, and and here's the bottom portion here, and they all stick together like this, and they're all the same size holes. So it's the same rod. And at the ends of the rod, I gave it a little bit of beveling detail, so it looks like it's all, like I mentioned, like it's all part of the ship. Um, so if I grab that, it goes right in there, just like this. And you look at it, let's kind of push it over a little more here. You can see it. It looks like it's part of the ship. And then all the wires, again, I designed it so they go around it from the inside. So this is all open over here. You can see that opening back here. Get this out of the way. See right behind the rod, that's an opening there. If I move the rod like this, it goes right through there to the inside. So you never see the wires. These are lighting panels here. So you'll put square transparent or translucent plastic over this. All the lighting will go inside. And then for this arm down here, it's hard to see because of the coloration on here, but this is basically the same thing on the bottom, but if I hide this real quick, this is the same design here. You can see that the wires go through here inside and around it and come out, and then they come out on the inside. So there's the grids I just showed you. So if I take that and just bring that up like this, you can see the wires come out right through there. So yeah, fun stuff. So as I complete it, I'll share with everybody. And I'll show you on the one piece of the wires go through here. Let me kind of go to this large view. All right, I'll get it in close to the camera, and you can see it right there. You just kind of feed the wire. You'll probably feed it through here, on up through here, and it'll come out through here. You can see some supports in there, but we can easily pull those out. So the wires are always hidden. So when they do competition, it looks like it's a complete solid ship, and the judges will give them hopefully a gold star, a gold trophy. And
or a
these guys,
gold batleth.
huh?
A gold batleth.
Yeah. so and these guys, the builders I'm designing for are deadly serious. They're some of them are they actually work in the sci-fi industry on some of the models. And I think I showed you my custom enterprise that I did.
Yeah.
And now the custom enterprise is 33 inches long that I showed you guys in the past. This thing is 44 to 48 inches long. After you put it all together, it's about 44 to 48 inches long, and it's 2 feet wide. So I'm pretty proud of this one. It took work.
That's a lot of filament.
It's not filament. It's resin.
Oh,
These are resin printed. These are not filament printed.
and does that make a toxic gas when you print?
I'm using the new water wash, and they're also what do they call it? It's plant-based resins.
So you can do these, print them inside.
Yeah, I can print them inside with a minimum odor, bare minimum odor, and very little low toxicity. I won't use the alcohol-based stuff anymore.
They
In
should
fact,
make
I think, huh?
they should make resins out of oregano or something, so it smells nice when you use it.
Exactly. That would be a good idea. WonderCon. Let's see. Let's see. That is for Wonder. No, this is not for WonderCon. Let's see. David Glenn made a comment here. Is that for WonderCon? It's not for WonderCon. It's for Wonderfest. So Wonderfest. Yeah, I'll show you guys the site. I will be speaking there and doing a pre-con workshop. I do this every year. Wonderfest USA. Here, I'll share my screen completely. Where is the there? Where's the other thing? Oh, there it is. That one there. Okay. So this is Wonderfest. Let me go there real quick. I'm in the, Wonderfest USA. Here it is. Ask me later. Stop asking me questions. Go to the damn site. There we go. Wonderfest. So here, I'll put that in the chat box too. Highly recommend this one. This is a this is one of my favorite conventions, even over San Diego Comic Con, because this is like people at San Diego Comic Con. The guests that come are there to admire the work of the artists. The guests that come to this convention, they're all builders. Every one of them are builders, so they have stake in the game. I do. I'll be doing daily workshops, including um, a pre-con workshop the day before. So May 30th and 31st, Crown Plaza in Louisville, Kentucky. And the cost of the convention is cheap. It's like $50 or something like that. It's a 2-day convention. So I always share a room with one of the other um, a guy has a booth there. They're like $150 a night. So yeah, I don't know. And David was asking, is there something like this in Seattle? There might be. I would Google that if there is a builders, a model builders convention, or even a group in Seattle. I think there might be. See some of the guests that are here. You might recognize some of these names. Marta, she played Penny on in Lost in Space. She's really nice. Um, let's see, Nick Tate. He played the pilot in Space 1999. They got some some good speakers. Rick Sternbach. He's well known for the Star Trek, Voyager, DS9. So it's a real fun convention, and everybody there are like big kids. They have these hotel rooms where you just go in and you can just build stuff with everybody else. Every day of the convention, there's some party going on in one of the floors and some of the hotel rooms. It's basically walk around and walk in. One room has nothing but Space 1999 Eagle models, so it's a real fun convention. And the food in Louisville is good too. So let's see. Glenn David says, okay, EDCC is the only convention that I know, and I didn't see many modelers there. What's EDCC? Um, what's EDCC? I'm not sure what, or ED, oh, ECCC. ECCC. Not sure what that is. Um, that's it for today. So let's see. What's that? I think we're meeting next week. Let me see what's going on next week. Make sure there's nothing. Check my calendar here. And I think we are back here next week as well. I'm done with the with a present with workshops all this year. And I see we got December. Next week is December, right? Yeah. So yeah, we're here. Or I think yeah, we're here. So we'll be back here. Now the week after is going to be my Christmas party, and the week after that is Christmas. So we won't have a meeting until January after next week. So next week is our last meeting for the year. Oh yeah. So something else I should mention. The I've got a discount code for all the workshops. It's the Black Friday discount code. It started yesterday, and I'm gonna put this down here. Black Friday. Let me type it down. Black Friday discount is this. It is Black Friday 2025. Okay, come on. All right, so I'm gonna give you this. Black Friday 2025. Okay, I'm gonna give you the link. So if you go to my site, I'll do this way. Go to the Blender section. Go to the workshops, Blender 3D, and these are the new workshops. That's all scheduled for 2026. So we've got the introduction of Blender for those who feel they need to get a strong um, foundation in Blender. Start with this one. I'll give you the link to this page that lists all the workshops. That discount code is going to end on Friday. The Friday coming up. It's going to end on Friday. So this is a good time to take advantage of this. So if you've been thinking about now, these are all 5-week workshops. So if you thought about wanting to do these workshops, this is a good opportunity to do so. So take advantage of that discount code. Okay, that's it. Thank you, Carm. It's great. Thank you
Sure.
all for being here. We'll see everybody next Saturday, which is our last meeting for the year. Because the
That's
week after,
heavy.
what was that?
That's heavy.
Yeah, no, time flies by so quickly. It's like before you know it, it'll be Christmas and then be like no, January already, and the spring again already. So time is flying. Yeah, tomorrow we just started our character design and rigging class that I do on Sundays. That's going great. Building characters from scratch, rigging them is we're having a lot of fun in that class. So I'll be offering that again too. So but go to my site here, advanced 3D modeling. All right. So if you do not have a lot of experience in 3D modeling in Blender, do not take the advanced Blender 3D modeling class. Do the introduction to Blender 3D because we do modeling there, but it's on an intro level, so it gets you started. So when this ends, we'll start another one that starts up here. So the advanced Blender modeling is practically full already. Yeah, most of these are practically full already. I only allow 8 people in the class. That is it. So so don't procrastinate. Get signed up now. So the intro class starts February 22nd. The advanced class starts January 11th. And then we got the Blender animation, right? Because I talk about a lot of the texturing. Now we're going to get into the animation. That starts in April. That's right after that right after the February class ends of the introduction to the Blender class. When that ends, then the Blender animation starts. And I'm going to interview people for this because I've had a couple experiences, even in my Photoshop classes, um, where people are telling me that they're more advanced and they're not. They're beginning level. They're trying to cut corners and it ends up not being valuable for them and frustrating for other students. So I'm going to be really diligent in interviewing people. Now, if you are interested in Photoshop, I've got the Photoshop workshops coming up. We could use the same discount code for those as well. I'll give you the link for that. And they're all set up for 2026 as well. Intermediate, advanced, intermediate, intro, intermediate, and advanced. All dates set for 2026. So I will put that in the chat box as well. I'll put in Photoshop. Same as that discount code is used for all of this. In addition, wait, there's more. If you want photography, the 3.5-day photography workshops, Joshua Tree Master Class, Death Valley Photoshop class, and the Eastern Sierra workshop, the dates are all set. Those are fantastic. You get to go out with the camera. It's a class. You're learning to improve your composition, your eye, your talent. We have image reviews, and it includes a Photoshop class. So I'll give you that link for those. The photography classes. And then that's it. That's all I have to share with you right now. All right. Let's see. That's it. David Glenn. David Glenn says, when are you going to the Northwest? Well, the closest to the Northwest I'm going, David, will be the Eastern Sierra workshops, which is in Northern California. That means you have to come down and join us there. I think the drive for you would be what? A day and a half, maybe? Or a day drive, possibly? And I rent an Airbnb and we all share the Airbnb. It works out to like 40, $50 a person, depending on how many people share it. So it's an inexpensive in terms of the travel, the accommodations. So the rest is, besides paying for the workshop, it's just you getting down there, having the gas and the money for food, gas for the car and money for food. Well, for the Eastern Sierra, the colors are off the charts. They're off the charts. We go in October when the fall color is happening. So they're incredible. And we have Bodie Ghost Town on the agenda. We've got the Mono Lake Tufas. And we got valleys and droves of color. It's really a color workshop with the ghost towns. Okay, we're done. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see everybody next week.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, Carm.